Next, we'll go to Raquel at TV Globo Brazil.
Thank you so much, guys, for this opportunity. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I have one question about the vaccination and another one to Dr. Fauci, because the World Health Organization warned this week that the gap between vaccines in the arms of people in rich countries and the number of vaccines through COVAX is growing, becoming more grotesque every day, and it gives false sense of security in rich countries. Do you believe global inequality access to vaccines, or vaccine hoarding, if you want to call that, could make the pandemic last longer? And Dr. Fauci, are you meeting Brazilian health officials this week? Do you believe the administration should let the AstraZeneca supply sitting here without approval go also to countries that most need it? And do you believe the world should send help to Brazil to also avoid a spillover in other places?
Andy, you want to answer the first question and I'll answer the second?
So I don't know exactly how to parse the pieces. The first question was with regard to the supply in rich countries versus in more developing countries. Is that do I have the question right? Look, I think let me just start with this. The president has stated his #1 priority is to make sure we prioritize the vaccination in this country. We've suffered over 540,000 deaths, more than anywhere else in the world. And he came into office, and we came into office with a seriousness of purpose to make sure that we make this country safe again. We have procured the vaccine supplies, the vaccination sites, increased the number of vaccinators. At the same time, as Dr. Fauci, I think, will go into, we've also made it a priority to say that we must return to global leadership. And indeed, as your question correctly points out, until we deal with this pandemic across the globe, we will not be successful in dealing with it. So our work with COVAX to make the leading investment and the first investment and get that moving quickly. Dr. Fauci on the first day attending the World Health Organization's meeting, our recent announcement that we are moving vaccines in this hemisphere to Mexico and Canada, our work with the Quad to develop longer-term manufacturing capacity around the world. These are efforts that are active and ongoing. And before I turn it over to Dr. Fauci, I would just say, we are in fact concerned with the situation in Brazil. We are having conversations with the folks in Brazil on a regular basis, on a daily basis, about what's going on there. I won't give you more details other than to say that we are deeply engaged. Let me turn it over to Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Yes, we will be meeting with the Brazilian authorities. And to reiterate what Andy said, we are quite concerned about the difficult situation in Brazil. And we will be discussing ways that we might be able to be helpful to Brazil. I can't go over the details. I'd like to wait to see what their presentation, how in the future we might be able to help them. But also, as Andy said, we really are now taking a very active role in COVAX. We now have a $4 billion pledge that we'll be doing. We're back in global leadership, which I think is really important. And as said, after we do take care of the really difficult situation we've had in our own country with over 535,000 deaths, we will obviously in the future have surplus vaccine, and there certainly is a consideration for making that vaccine available to countries that need it.
Next question.